Nestling beneath the North York moors is the village of Thornton-le-Dale. And for over 30 years, it's been the home of the Mathewsons. A dynasty of dealers with a love of classics.
They just have a personality, there's just something about them.
In all shapes and sizes.
Well, it is the best job ever, really, isn't it?
A passion that can be turned into brass. They auction over 4,000 rare vehicles every year.
Start me on it, we're going to be with it.
Most people will go to a sale with something in mind, but come away with something different.
Some things either got it or it hasn't.
It's what they fall in love with on that day.
There's head of the family, Derek.
What a runner. Smooth as silk, this car.
Trusted lieutenants, sons Paul.
Working with your family, it has its ups and its downs. God, blimey.
And Dave.
I bet you £1 it doesn't start.
The fun is the chase.
Morning, Mathewsons.
You just don't know what's on the end of the phone, what you're going to find when you open them doors.
Spot on.
That's the find of the century. It's the real deal.
Just never really 2 days exactly the same.
This is a family's love affair with motors that have lived a life.
There's a story behind every car in this building.
Testing, testing.
Most people will buy a car because they can relate to it, maybe a car that Dad had. We're selling dreams.
Right, here we go.
On sale this week.
1967 Aston Martin DB6.
You do feel great when you're driving one. You feel like a millionaire. You think you're James Bond.
I think it's worth 220,000 quid of anyone's money.
Jaguar 69 E-Type.
It's a slice of Britain, isn't it?
It is. In the 60s, if I'd been able to afford one, it would have been the car of my dreams.
Right, and here we are, cracking little Austin J40. Speedo and a clock, oil gauge.
Lovely condition, isn't it?
Nice motor.
Right. This is the beauty of these. If you break down,
Carry it on.
you can carry it on, can't you?
At the garage, Derek likes to think he leads from the front.
If you've got tea and chocolate biscuits, I'll be there for a little while.
He claims to work the longest hours,
Derek, bright and early. I've been here since 5:10.
endure the worst weather,
Monsoon, I tell you. It's not raining, it's monsoon out there.
and do the most driving.
I mean, I just went further last week to Aberdeen, didn't I, mile-wise?
None of the above have been confirmed by Dave, Paul and Jack, but one thing's for sure, nobody here would mind any of it, for the chance to sell one of the world's finest classic cars. Today, Paul will be doing a 12-hour round trip to Somerset.
It's very early, isn't it? Look, it's dark out there. We're going to pick up an Aston Martin DB6. Nice looking car on the face of it. It's going to be a couple of hundred, I would have thought. 200, 220, somewhere there, 230, somewhere there. Yeah, a lot of money, aren't they?
It could become the highest value sale they've ever had here.
Yes, it's a valuable thing, but, you know, I've driven away with people's cars, you know, to the tune of £1,500 or £2,000 before now, and they've been in tears. You know, we look after a £2,000 car the same as I should look after this £200,000 car. You know, they all mean the same, really. They're just an extra digit or two, aren't they?
Ken Wilson has worked hard over the years. Armed with his City and Guild certificate, he set up a building company.
This is my little workshop.
He did well and paid himself in Astons.
I've had Aston Martins since I was 19. At one time, I had 3 Aston Martins. I've had DBS6 Vantage, I had DBS V8. It was one of the first ones that come out.
Ken bought this one in 2001.
I keep her in the air because it saves the tyres. So, it was a bit of a basket case at the time. It was all in bits when I got it, like in need of total renovation. It was right down to bare metal. I actually finished it about 5 years ago, I think. It took me a very long time to put it back together again. Well, you've got stainless steel exhaust all the way through. Even though it has only done about 25,000 miles, it was in a pretty poor state because it was left in a little lockup for a very long time. It's a lot better than it was.
Ken's estimate of the value of this car is similar to Paul's at around £200,000. Perfect examples can sell for over 100 grand more.
If somebody wants one that they're going to drive, not worry too much about, it's an ideal vehicle. It's just a lovely, beautiful car. If you want one, there's not many around, basically. Here's your engine. It's in power plant. It's a 4-litre straight 6 with triple SUs on it. The head's been totally done by an engineering company so that it now runs on unleaded without any problems. It's been a work of love, really, I suppose. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to drive it much, so that's why I'm now selling it and hope somebody else will put some more work into it. To me, as long as it runs well and it drives well, that's all it really needs.
Astons are also in Paul's blood. As children, he and Dave used to ride in the back of Derek's DB6, which he still owns.
God, it's wet down here, isn't it? Dee, 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 dee. Are you here, Ken?
Yeah.
He's here. Hello.
You all right,
How are
then?
you?
All right,
Paul,
mate. Yeah.
pleased to meet you. Good man, I'll take my hat off. Yes, there it is, eh?
Yeah, that's the old girl.
Yeah, looks a nice car, Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice car. 5-speed?
Yeah, it's a proper ZF box.
ZF, yeah.
Being a manual, they obviously worth more because that's automatic box.
Yeah, Father's Auto, yeah, that's what threw me there, to be fair, yeah.
Tell him to leave that box in there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he's got a ZF box. No, we've got one, don't worry. He always did plan on converting it.
Off here.
Oh, yeah, no, he's got a gearbox light. He got one back in 1978 or whatever, you know, it's under the bench.
You try and buy one now.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
You'll be talking like 20 grand.
Are they as dear as that, are they?
As soon as you sort of like say it's an Aston Martin, the zeros go on. There's another thing I must show you as well. See, that if people open the boot lid, that's staying.
Yes,
that's not
you've
going
got to flick it back, yeah.
Right. There's the original air filter and some leather. I left it in there because
it's part of it.
It's part of it. If somebody wants to put it back on and be original, they can.
That's right,
this is original carpet. I did put more soundproofing in there.
Yes. You got a noisy diff?
No, it's quiet as a mouse. Absolutely quiet as a mouse.
It's all soundproofed over there to try and hide the diff.
No, I've done all that. I stripped it right down.
Did you?
Nothing wrong with it, but I had it right down.
Good job. You back out. I'll shut them gates, Ken.
Yeah, lovely. I'm going to try and get in here without getting my boots stuck.
Yeah, no, don't be doing that. All right. She's away.
They're just lovely cars, you know, they're hand-built. You just can't get anything like them.
That'll do you, Ken.
There are currently about 160 Aston DB6s driving around the UK. Most owners don't go off-roading in them.
No, I've got to miss the puddles.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, don't worry, we'll get it tonsed up when we get back.
You do feel great when you're driving one on the road. You feel like a millionaire. You think you're James Bond. I'd like to see it driven. I mean, even if they're going to completely redo it at some stage, take it out and drive it. Enjoy it. Don't just sit it in the garage.
Righto, Ken. Yep. As you are. I don't see why we can't achieve, you know, the sort of money he wants. Yeah, just left hand a little bit, Ken. It's a DB6 Aston Martin, so a very special car. So fingers crossed for him. Let's hope so. Ideal.
You'll get some looks on the road on the way back.
Not half. Yeah, not half.
Is there anything else you need, Paul?
No, that's it from you, Ken.
All right.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Okay then, mate.
I'll give you a bell later on.
Yeah.
All right.
And I hope to hear from you soon.
Good show, thank you.
How you feeling?
All right, thanks. Bit sad, but that's the way it goes, isn't it? Yeah, Paul. What a shame, eh? Let's say, we'll see what happens. Not come back yet.
In Thornton-le-Dale, Derek's preparing himself to collect his own clutch of classics from the 1960s.
Well, today we're hoping to get, well, we will get a Vespa scooter and a Vespa scooter combination. In other words, Vespa scooter and a sidecar.
But that's not all. There's a Jaguar E-Type too. But the details are sketchy, thanks to Derek's unique admin methods.
I don't know what model. I think it's a Roadster, a Series 1 Roadster. But if you wait, we get there, it'll be a Series 3 fixed head. But when it comes to E-Types, there ain't no wrong model. Any E-Type will do.
Russ Calcutt from Barnsley runs a successful shipping firm. But his other passion has been collecting some of his all-time motoring heroes from the past 60 years. The first to be derobed, a Series 2 E-Type Jag 4.2.
Why the E-Type for you?
Because in the 60s, the E-Type was the car to have. If I'd been able to afford one, it would have been the car of my dreams.
It's a slice of Britain, isn't it?
It is. You had people who put their love and everything into manufacturing and doing it and making sure everything was okay. You look at them and you think, God, they're like 50, 60 years old and they're still running today.
Russ wants to do more travelling, hence the sale of the E-Type. But also in his collection are two rare 1960s Vespas, renovated to order in Vietnam. One of them has a surprising attachment.
Describe the appeal of riding in a sidecar to me.
Not the comfiest of things. It's like being on the fairground in a Dodgem car. Someone with a young kid, ideal.
Ideal?
Yeah, super. You know, put him in there, a young lad, he'd be over the moon.
He might be over something.
When Russ rode around on bikes like these in his 20s, he was making a statement.
It was everything to own a scooter and be a mod, if you like, in those days. It's all part of growing up. I think I've still got a Parker, yeah, pair of Doc Martens.
Derek's tipped up. They've met before when Russ was having a nose round the garage.
Ah, good show.
You
Good
okay?
to see you. I'm all right, mate. Yeah,
Nice speaking to you. It's a while since I saw you.
Yeah.
Vespas, both 150s.
Yep.
This one's a 1962, and that's a 1960.
Values then. What's he got to do?
Somewhere between 5 and 6.
About that one?
And that one probably somewhere around about 3.6.
Yeah. And how long you had this?
This one I've had 13 years, but I've tried and kept it as original as possible.
Yeah. She's nice inside.
Yeah.
She's tidy inside, isn't she? It's an attractive old car.
Yeah. I'd like to get at least 40 for her, which I think...
Won't do it.
No.
I'll be wasting your time.
Yeah.
I think it could get 35.
Yeah.
But if you can live with that, then I mean, I'll have a go. Got it? That's it. Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's it, yep, that's it, yeah, right.
Russ has taken Derek's valuation of the E-Type on the chin, but there's still a bit of wiggle room.
It looks a very straight old car, to be fair. So, tell you what, it just might really surprise you. Up you come. Yeah, come on, mate, yep.
I'm hoping that whoever does get it will have as much joy as I've had out of this in the last 13 years. I've only done 4,000 miles, but every one of those miles has been enjoyable.
Well done.
It's still an icon, it's still sought after, and you still get the looks. And to me, that's everything in a car.
Back at Thornton-le-Dale, there's been a rare tidy-up, and prime showroom spot number 1 has been cleared. Something very special is arriving.
Rachel, there's a space in the front of the garage, and you've got a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Why?
There's an Aston Martin DB6 coming. I've got all the paperwork but no car.
Are you excited about the car?
A little bit, yeah.
Why?
Because it's like worth a lot of money. Drive a Skoda, they're not expensive, are they?
Rachel seems a little bit excited about a DB6.
Yeah, she is, but she's not actually even watched a James Bond film.
What?
It's not my type of film. Isn't it lovely? It's a beauty, that.
So how much is your house on the market for?
Probably about the same price. Yeah, I'll just ring the estate agent now and get it on.
Lovely. Love the colour. I love the colour. That is the colour for Aston Martin's, full stop. That is, you could not get a better colour. Absolutely bang on.
A car like this won't be rushed through the auction.
After the bus.
Derek needs time to do a PR job. The number of people who can afford 200 grand for a classic Aston will be small. But amongst them, there's likely to be fierce competition.
Yeah, there's some old car out there, really.
Aye. Very special. Very special old car, isn't it? Yeah, drives nice. That is exactly the car that should be bought by a guy who wants to buy an Aston Martin. Forget the £350,000 Aston. You can't use them, can you?
No.
That is just beautiful. It's just perfect for the job. Use it as much as you can. Fantastic. Oh, I'm so privileged to have driven stuff like that, aren't I? Really am. What better job can you have than here? Nice sunny day in Yorkshire, Thornton-Dale, and driving an Aston Martin DB6. What more do you want? That's it, isn't it? I've cracked it. Happy days. Can't ask for any more.
It's auction day. There are over 400 high-quality lots. As is the way at the moment, they'll be sold through online and phone bidding only. Some prospective buyers have pre-booked a viewing.
When I was a teenager, I used to wash cars on the weekend, and I had a customer who had a TR6. I just fell in love with the car, and I thought one day I'll have one of those. For me, owning a classic car is just recapturing a bit of my youth.
Others have travelled just to pay homage at the Mathewsons temple.
I'm from Lancaster, but I'm in absolute heaven. It's absolutely beautiful. I've worked here for nothing.
Fresh out of Barnsley, the pair of renovated 1960s Vespers that came in with the E-Type are about to go under the hammer. But the one with the sidecar comes with a note of caution.
Everyone I've been on, and I've got myself, you know, when you get to that speed, you just get a bit of that. and then you've got enough bottle, you just keep going and it levels out a bit. I like that light on the front, that's good.
You look all right on it.
Yeah, I sit on a combo well, don't I? I know, I thought that myself.
I could see you and Sue bobbing down the shops in that.
I'm not so sure she'd want to get in it, you know, really. I'm not so sure she could get in it now with her leg. But, she could leave her leg here, I suppose. I don't think it's really one for me. I don't think so, no. It's it's a toy, I think, to be honest, to put it that way. I think it's a toy. But I'm very pleased to have it. I regard things like this as a feather in our cap, because not everyone has got one.
Piaggio 150 scooter. There we are, look at that. You can't miss that in the crowd, can you? There, look at that, well, bonny looking thing. Where are we going to be? At 2,000, 2,000 pounds, 2,000, 2,250, 2,250, 2,5, 2,750 on the web at 2,750, 3,000, fresh bid there at 3,000, 3,000 pound, 3,000 with wheel at 3,000 pound with wheel on the internet at 3,000. 3,000 pound, are we all done? 3,000.
£500 short, but it's sold to an enthusiast in Norfolk. Next up, the more valuable and more unorthodox 1960 Vespa, complete with sidecar.
Every motorcycle collection should have something like this. Start me on that. Where are we going to be? Where? 4, 4, 2, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4,600. Looking for 7. What a rare bit of kit. 4,006 is the 7. 4, 7, 4,007, 4,700. Provisional 4, 7. Brilliant fun.
After a bit of negotiation, the so-called combination goes for £5,000 to a vital member of the community.
Helen is our local district nurse who has decided she's going to do her rounds in scooter and sidecar.
How far around?
Oh, it's quite far.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Pickering covers a real wide area, quite far out, yeah, and it's like over the moors and stuff, so could be a bit bleak and chilly at times, couldn't it? But yeah, I could just see her doing it, yeah.
At Thornton-le-Dale, another desirable vehicle has arrived. Not the brown Datsun, but the thing meticulously packaged in front of it.
It had this car. Right. I won't tell you what it is because it's top secret until we undo it. Right. About something like 20 odd years or something, and had it restored some years ago. Yeah. For his grandchildren, and of course they're now like you, outgrown it slightly. Although having said that, you might fall in love with it when you see it. Never know. Oh, look at her. That's nice, isn't it? And she's lovely, eh? Well, it's a J40 pedal car that they were sold through dealer showrooms for promotional things. Yeah, got a handbrake, look, and it's got you have a battery. Is it on? Battery's flat. You can get every nut and bolt. You can get all this new, you know, so you can actually restore one really easy. What they're worth? A nice one will do £3,500. Oh, really? Yeah, they're all numbered in there. Would that be 1950 then, I wonder? I don't know. Too sure. None might be able to find out a lot more about it, won't we? Is there a little pull in there, Jack? Oh, well, hold on, what have we got here? I can't see what it goes. There we go. Oh, you sorted it. We're away. There you go, look at that. Fantastic, isn't it? And there you can plug the old batteries on, look. I won't do it now, I don't know which one goes. But isn't that beautiful? Look, set of plugs in there and everything. That's it, we're back. Lovely. There you are. How about that then? Love it.
This pint-sized Austin's engine has just enough power for some faint headlights and a small horn.
Look at the dashboard, speedo and a clock, oil gauge, petrol gauge, temperature gauge. Details, wonderful. I think it's absolutely great, I do honestly.
The metalwork is from offcuts at the Longbridge factory, and they have their own race series at the Goodwood Festival.
Lovely condition, isn't it? Nice motor. Right. This is the beauty of these, if you break down, you can carry it on. You can carry it on, can't you?
Inside, two full-sized and very exclusive cars also await Derek's assessment. The 1969 Series 2 E-Type and the 1967 Aston Martin DB6. Back in the day, these were the epitome of British automotive glamour. Launched in 1961, the E-Type was described by Enzo Ferrari as the most beautiful car ever made. But there was the Aston DB5 that was picked out for Bond in Goldfinger. Both the DB6 and the Jag had approximately 4-litre engines. Both did around 150 miles an hour. Celebrities bought both because they couldn't decide which one they preferred. But the biggest differences were price and production runs. 13,000 E-Types sold for a couple of grand, whereas only about 3,000 DB5s and 6s were made, with a whopping £5,000 price tag.
It's about really how an E-Type should be. The problem with E-Types and this type of car that I've found on condition and presentation is that most of them are very second rate, you know. They honestly are. They're very, very, I mean, this lovely interior, look, nice interior. You know, it's been done at some stage, but it's nice, nice straight car. Panels are pretty level. It's obviously had a big paint job, glass out by the looks of it. So very older restoration. Which I don't mind, of course, because now what you see is what you get. So I think it's a nice car. I like the nice bright paintwork, and I think most people buying an E-Type, or certainly their first E-Type, would be quite happy with this colour. Guys that are a bit more into E-Types and Jags and stuff and sports cars would probably not be all that keen on it, really. It's a little bit of an old man's colour. Jaguar 69 E-Type. Sold a good few Jags just lately, as you know. They're doing okay. Get one now. Start me on it. Where are we going to be? We're 30, we're off, 30, 31, 32, 32, 33, 33, 33. Looking for 33.5. 33,000. Can't do it. 33,000. Need a little bit more. Can't do that one. Sorry, you'll have to come and have a word with us. 33.
More post-auction chatting results in phone bidder David Hopkins from Cambridgeshire upping his offer to 35,000. Exactly what Derek said it was worth. David and his wife now intend to take the E-Type on a tour of the Yorkshire Dales. Few cars could top the E-Type as the main event, but there's no denying that's what the sale of the 1967 Aston Martin DB6 has become today.
Your cup of tea?
Yeah, I like it.
It should do 200, shouldn't it?
I think it'll do 216, just to be precise.
It could, by some distance, be the most expensive vehicle Mathewsons have ever sold.
They're stocks and shares, Aston Martins. They really are stocks and shares. But I think the DB6 is worth 220,000 quid of anyone's money. It's very much the established shape of Aston Martin, led by the James Bond connection. Really, 4, 5s and 6 DBs are really iconic. They really are. There is something very special about them.
Derek is the proud owner of this bevy of beauties. For Paul, it wasn't an entirely comfortable experience travelling in them.
To just sit there like that in the back, like naughty kids, really.
Well, and this was last week?
This was last year, actually, yeah. It was a special car, yeah. So, and let's be fair, they are a special car, aren't they? I hope it's going to be bought by someone who's always wanted one, doesn't want to win a concours show, but wants to get out and use one. And that's his car. That's a driver's car. That's not a show car, it's a driver's car. And I hope it goes to that man.
Here we go then. Lot number 200, 1967 Aston Martin DB6. Absolutely superb. It's a well-sorted car. It's lovely and straight. It sounds nice. It feels nice. It pulls nice. I couldn't knock the car. Very, very impressed with it. We'll submit the best bid today. I've got 150, 150, 150 bid, 160, 170, 180, 190. Fill it up, 190. We all know what they're worth. Come on, 190. We all know that they make 250,000 quid. 190, 190. I've got 195. Yeah. 195. 200, 200, 200.
Asking for 205.
200,000, 200,000, 205.
205 your bid, Bill.
205,000 I've got. I know it's worth more. Anyway, I'm not going to influence anybody. 205 for the first. Submitting for the second. Third and last time, we're going to submit 205,000.
There we go. Well done, Bill.
The very lucky buyer is Bill Kitchen from Devon. In the world of Aston Martins, 205,000 for a DB6 like this is considered a bargain.
He clearly knew what it was and he knew what the car was worth. He seemed really calm on the phone, and every time his bid was outbidded, it was straight on the phone, yep.
After a quick check with the vendor, there's a confirmation of the sale price.
Hello, is that Bill? Hi, it's Jill here from Mathewsons. Yeah, he's accepted it, yeah.
The record-breaking deal is done. The following morning, Derek's getting ready for Bill to pick the car up. Another opportunity to hear the purr of the DB6 engine as it glides effortlessly out of the showroom.
The joys of classic motoring, Derek.
Yeah, see why we're like full Cortinas, can't you?
So what are you doing, Derek?
Can't tell you, it's top secret. If I told you that, everyone would know how to start a car, wouldn't they? I'll give you a little tip. If you haven't got a tickler, put one on.
Hang on a minute, what's a tickler?
You know what cars have a tickler? Bentleys. If this had a flying bee on the bonnet, it'd have a tickler. What a mechanic. What would you do without a mechanic like me, eh?
New owner Bill runs a successful business, selling and recycling tyres.
I think we're lined up. Just come this way a bit.
He hasn't come empty-handed.
A bit more that way.
He's brought along a very nice MG Midget from 1968 that he wants to put through the auction.
So you're getting rid of an MG?
Yeah.
Going up in the world?
Well, yeah, you could put it that way, couldn't you?
Bill, what are you looking to get out of that?
As much as possible.
200,000.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Straight swap. But hey, what do we can get for it? 5 grand, I suppose, something like that, hopefully. You never know, do you?
Today, though, is really all about the Aston.
Just makes you smile, doesn't it?
This is the first time you've seen it?
It is, yeah.
You say you should never buy a car blind.
Well, depends, doesn't it? Like, I think you've got to take a chance now and again, haven't you?
And have you taken a chance?
No, I don't think so. Derek gave me the once-over on it.
This isn't the first DB6 Bill has owned. He had one in 1973 for 2 weeks, but then swapped it for 1,200 quid in a Mark II Cortina.
It's been retrimmed now. I'd rather have the old interior in there than the new stuff myself, with a few cracks in it. But that'll do. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Let's have a sit in it. Oh, it's a long time since I've sat in one. Beautiful. Absolutely lovely.
What's it like being back in it, Bill?
Just the smell of it, isn't it? Eh? You know, I don't even know if it's got power steering or not on it. No, it hasn't. I like the sound of it. Beautiful, isn't it, eh?
Bill, you're like a kid in a slightly expensive candy store.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, bring on the electric cars, eh?
Derek, he admits that he's bought it unseen.
Yeah.
But he's very happy.
I bet he is as well. And he's over the moon, I would think. He's got himself a very good car, a very good buy. And he knows it.
It is a lot of money, yeah, for sure. But you're not spending it, are you? You're just recycling it. Because you can always turn it back into money, can't you?
But you've not done it for that.
No. I want to keep that and enjoy it. That's the main event, isn't it? To enjoy it.
What's Bill going to be doing this weekend, then?
Well, I've got a greenhouse to paint, but I think that could be put to one side and I'm going to do a bit of driving, eh?
The Yorkshire Dales. a national park since 1954, with nearly 1,000 square miles of unspoilt countryside. After buying the beautiful 1969 E-Type at the auction,
Cheers, bye.
David and Jane Hopkins decided that this would be the perfect destination for their first holiday in the Jag. It didn't quite work out how they wanted.
Welcome to Yorkshire.
Welcome.
Lovely, isn't it?
Nice to be here.
You could have done with a little bit better weather.
Definitely.
We're come up here for a short break with some fellow classic car enthusiasts, doing a short 4-day tour around the Yorkshire Dales. Everybody's doing fine at the moment.
Hopefully we won't get lost. No technical equipment, no sat navs, anything like that.
We literally have gone back 50 years.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
On this exclusive package tour, the E-Type is a popular choice.
They are quite a good car that you can, tour in. There is a reasonable amount of room. We've got our dog and all our luggage, so you do need quite a lot of space. And you definitely wouldn't want an open-top car.
Not in
with
Yorkshire.
weather like this.
In Yorkshire in May.
or we might need the boat that's in the background.
But the E-Types do leak a bit.
Right.
Ours has actually not been too bad, has it? I had a
Yeah.
small puddle under my feet yesterday, but the cars next door to us,
I'm mopping out.
they're bailing out, literally, with a mug.
But looking on the bright side,
off we go.
They're still having some sort of holiday in one of the world's greatest classic cars.
Right. On to the next destination, over a Ruppety cattle grid.
Today sees David and Jane embarking on a 100-mile drive to Helmsley. This is the first 2+2 Series 2 they've owned, but they do have 2 other E-Types in the garage at home.
It's got more space in it because it's 2+2, slightly more headroom, not because I'm that tall, because it does give you a little bit more space for the wife's luggage and shopping and the dog, even though it's only a very small dog. It is one of the prettiest cars out there. They're fairly straightforward mechanically, so you don't have to be a lab technician to operate them. There's no gizmos in them. I don't intend bringing it to A1 condition. I bought the car to use. This last 2 or 3 days, touring around the Yorkshire Dales in the horrendous wet weather we've had, has proved that it still keeps going. Hopefully, for what we paid for it, it will hold its value and not cost us a fortune to run.
As for the 1960 Vespa and sidecar, it's not strayed far from home. New owner Helen Miller is known to just about everyone in a 30-mile radius of the garage.
So I'm an advanced nurse practitioner at Pickering Medical Practice. See patients, diagnose, send for tests. It's a rural practice, so you can be out in the sticks trying to find some house that's nowhere.
Helen bought the Vespa to do her rounds on. Her partner Neil was not impressed.
Thought it was a bad idea.
Right.
Didn't think it looked safe.
No.
Scooters and sidecars I don't think mix.
No.
But it is a lovely little thing.
My dad was always into Vespas, and once a month he'd take me to Maxie's for Black Forest Gatto and cake. He passed away, sadly, 3 years ago, and it's just one of those memories that I've always had. We always had our time together, and he used to make that for me and only me. Yeah, just reminds me of him.
There is one small fly in the ointment, though.
So I can't ride a bike.
I'm sorry?
So I can't ride a bike, but I will do. I mean, this will happen this year. I'll pass my test and I'll pass my theory. And then I'll go do my visits in my Bluebell. Bell for short. Might cheer up the patients.
How are you getting round in it at the moment, then?
My partner, Neil Parker.
Parker?
Yeah.
Thunderbirds?
Yeah.
So Lady Penelope's chauffeur was called Parker, and you are Parker.
Up to now I am, yes.
So you're hoping that she'll pass the test pretty soon?
Immediately.
I'll have the bag in the sidecar and I'll be driving it.
What have they said at work?
Strange. Odd. But yeah, they're all for it. They're fine. You know, everybody's been working really, really hard, especially with the pandemic. And if it brings a bit of joy and a bit of fun, then crack on.
And finally, the record-breaking £205,000 Aston DB6 has been getting used to its new surroundings in Devon. Owner Bill has been enjoying the complete sensory experience.
Music, like a concerto. Beautiful noise, lovely smell. It's got it all in it.
One would hope for the price, but on this test run, there was a small problem.
It's just starting to stick a bit. Is it? Okay, mate.
Well, the brakes were starting to stick on a little bit, so we had to just release the pressure a little bit on the servo. That's the problem. It's only a servo problem. It's no big deal. It's got twin servos on this, so you only need front brakes anyway, don't you? You know.
After the unwelcome interlude, glamour was soon reinstated. Bill's thoughts turned to expensive modifications.
Say if anything ever happened to the engine, we'd take it up to a 4.2 to the 3.9 it is now to a Vantage spec. But I'd probably send that away to a specialist and get it done.
Bill loves the Aston, but being a man who's made his money out of tyres, there's something else that's been bugging him.
Well, at the moment, it's got cross-ply tyres on it, which is a little bit emotional. I think that's the word we can use, emotional. So it's time to get some radial tyres on it, and maybe it could do with some power steering on it as well, because I can't see my wife being able to drive it if she wants to have a go in it.
You're not letting her out in it just yet?
Not just yet. No, she won't be going down Tesco's in it, let's put it that way.
What's the long-term plan then? What do you see yourself doing with it over the next 2, 3, 5 years?
Best ask my bank manager that, I suppose, isn't it? No, really, realistically, it's a keeper, isn't it? You know, something I want and something I want to keep. Simple as that. And maybe my grandkids or my kids will maybe enjoy it, or maybe they'll sell it and pocket it. Who knows? But that's the idea, you know. We want to drive it, want to go out in it, enjoy it. Yeah, sure. That's the plan.
That said, when you own a car like this, it doesn't even have to be moving to appreciate it.
When you're shamming it off, the curves and the shape of it, you can feel it all. It's just beautiful. Absolutely. Makes you smile.